Hey everyone, so this video is more for you keto beginners or just getting started into keto, but I think it's great also to listen to this even if you've been on keto for a while. This might relate to you, or you might have a little bit of advice for the new people. Because I remember when I got started in keto, I was the only one around myself and I didn't know what was normal and what wasn't normal. And I had to start trying to figure out why things were happening all on my own. And I tried to listen to some forums and things like that to get it figured out. So I just kind of want to go through, some breakdowns of how I felt and what was going on in my body that might help you guys or think, phew, that's normal then? Okay, I just wasn't sure. So I think the most important thing to break this up is in little segments and talk about each one. So the first 3 days of keto, which a lot of us go through keto flu, which I did really, really bad. Another one of my clients ended up throwing up. She got so sick, and she's a diabetic. And so yes, even if you have diabetes, you can be on keto, and actually she feels better now that she's on keto and she's diabetic. So anyways, I actually got super sick. I felt like I had the flu, definitely. I had to stay home. And I had just remember, guys, I had gotten out of the hospital a week ago before I started. And I was like, that's it. I've got to do something. I'm ready. So I was detoxing all the chemicals and all the things that were in my body and everything else from just being in the hospital for internal bleeding. So for those of you who don't know, I have really bad health issues. I get blood clots to my liver. They don't know why. It's extremely, extremely rare. And because of that, I also get internal bleeding. So I bleed and I clot. It's really fun. So the first 3 days, I felt more alive in ways, but I was just tired. I was exhausted, and my body was just detoxing and getting used to not having carbs. It's kind of like withdrawals. I don't really get that anymore. Even if I get off keto and I jump right back on, I don't really feel anything anymore. So there is that. Now, the first week was a breeze. It was really easy. I kind of planned ahead of time everything I was going to eat for that entire week. And I think for most of us, I keep saying Angela, I'm sorry guys. So I first think that when you do anything, you can do anything for about a week. Your body, a lot of us are used to being on multiple different diets or switching on and off of things. So doing something for a week is not that big a deal. So I was like, sweet, this is easy. And I did notice, I'm like, wow, my energy's through the roof. I didn't need to take a nap. I was going to bed on time. I was just kind of in the honeymoon stage of keto. I was just like, this is awesome. I love this. And I thought, I'll do this forever. Why would I ever switch? Now, week 2, that's when things get tricky. Where the first week I could avoid the sweets or the treats. It's then I couldn't avoid eating out. I had a situation where I was like, oh no, I need to eat out. What am I going to do? Or it was those cravings kind of came in, or somebody else had pizza, and I'm like, okay, this is a little harder to turn down, but I can do this. So the second week was feeling really tempted. I was just really tempted by everything, but I was able to push through. I was like, no, you're not going to do that. You're not going to do that. And I think that week I did end up overeating a little bit here and there because I was trying to avoid cravings and I didn't know what else to do. So, might have overdone it on keto treats or something like that, or using way too much fat, not understanding what I was doing, but I was feeling still really good. Week 3 became really hard. It was every craving, every little thing, even things I normally don't even like chips and stuff, were just taunting me. I was like, but I really, really want that. And it was just frustrating. It was really frustrating. I couldn't, you really want that sugar rush or that sugar high. And it was I was craving everything sweet that week. And I decided to, instead of give into it, I just did everything I could to not do it. I mean, I would read, I went for walks, I went to bed early. I mean, I did everything imaginable just to not give into those cravings. And then after that, I realized I had control. And it was like this light bulb came on, and I was like, I am actually in control of what I eat. It does not control me. And then it was still tricky, and I did have like a mess up. I think into week 4 was I ended up eating like a cookie or something like that. But I realized right away how sick I felt, how good I did not feel. And a lot of us mess up, and I was ready to get back on track. Now, for 3 days, I went through extremely harsh cravings again. I was like, all I want is sugar and eat junk. But after that, after 3 days again, I seemed to do fine. Now, I did mess up a lot, as in some of the things I learned is that caffeine can be a stimulant, so caffeine can make you more hungry. So I use more vitamin B. I don't try and drink coffee every day anymore, just because it doesn't work well for me. I don't do well with intermittent fasting. I think it's great if it works for you, but with my hypoglycemia, I can't let my blood sugars get that low. When my blood sugar starts to tank, I'm hungry and I will consume everything in sight. So for me, I cannot go very long without food, or I just get sick. And I know that because I've had to go a whole week without being able to eat from being in the hospital. And I can tell you, I did not lose weight from that. I just go up in inflammation. So, I just don't feel right. I just feel sick. It's not good. I avoid that for me. Not that I won't in the future. Right now, I don't do intermittent fasting. I've also learned to be careful with doing protein bars and protein shakes. I think they're great and nice for easy on-the-go stuff, or, if you're still learning and it stops you from eating a cheeseburger, I don't think eating a protein bar is the worst thing, but they can be just as addictive because they're so sugary and sweet tasting that then when you go to eat your hamburger or your veggies, you're like, this isn't quite as good as that protein bar, that you just don't want anything. And it can kind of be like your gateway drug to getting back onto carbs and things like that. So you just got to be careful with it. If it works for you and you can apply them here and there to your life, I think it's better than a lot of things, especially even adding in like soda. Even if it's diet soda, that's a lot of fakey things, or even like keto treats, as in pre-made packaged keto foods. That's like the same idea as eating that low-fat junk. A long time ago, there was like, oh, low-fat cookies. And so you would eat 4 or 5 of them. That's not any healthier. So being careful with those kinds of things, that really would have saved me a lot of pain in my life, I think. And if you're going to make something, make it yourself. And try and do keto and new things, or having family jump on board with you. I've got so many people who eat keto now because of me, that I found people enjoy eating what I'm eating, or it's new. Like, just be like, I know this is weird, but this is how I eat. Give it a try. And most people don't complain. A lot of people would rather eat healthy. They just feel like they need to give you the cake, or that that's what you're supposed to do, or eating something special. That they're so impressed that they can eat and enjoy this food without enjoying all the carbs. They're like, I feel better. Oh my gosh, it's lunchtime and I have energy and I don't want to go take a nap. So doing these things, it's good for other people too. So if you say like, do you mind instead of us going out for dinner, do you mind coming over to my house and maybe I'll prepare something, or let's get this. And then what I've learned is if I do have to meet someone out, I either call the restaurant. I'm calling which one we're going to go to, because I'm like, I have some specific needs. Do you mind if I choose the restaurant? Or I'll give them 3 options and that I know I can eat at, and be like, what sounds good? This place, or this place. Let them choose. Or most of the times with friends, let's be honest, a lot of us, when I'm going out to eat, I want a burger and fries. Or something else I shouldn't be eating. And it's really tempting once you're there, or you see what your friend's ordering. So typically, I just say, can we meet for coffee? Is that okay? And then I know I can go get like coffee with cream in it and stevia. So I'll just do a drip coffee with cream and sugar. Or maybe I'll do a tea or something like that. I have to be careful with teas because it's high in vitamin K and I'm on blood thinners. But you could do any of that. And then sometimes there's keto treats there. You can even get a handful of nuts, or, you know, sometimes there's things made in coconut flour, gluten-free things that are just like basically nuts or low carb stuff. Couple options. So you could even go with something like that. But that's typically what I do to stay on track, but to still meet up with friends or get to be out and about with other people, but I'm still in control of what I'm doing. Or sometimes if we're going to meet for coffee, you know, I always bring a hard-boiled egg so that way I can eat it before or after, so I'm not feeling hungry and not tempted by all the delicious pastries and cookies and other things that are sitting out there that I know are actually going to make me feel very sick if I eat them. So I hope that helps you. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.